any free agents the Niners should sign. There's a bunch out there. I was just looking through. I found a guy I haven't mentioned all off season. I'd like to hear your name first.
For me, it's Marvin Ingram.
Okay.
I mean, he's an experienced guy. He can be a great addition for our defensive line, which won't be as dominant as it was in the Super Bowl year. I talked a lot about that, why I think that. And of course, he can help our young defensive ends and defensive tackle to develop themselves onto a higher level, because when he played, he was on a high level, in my opinion. And still, he can be a great addition for this team. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. That's a good. I mean, he's a little expensive. They'd have to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo first, but hell of a player. Yeah. Okay. Turn it down a little bit. I think you're getting a little feedback, Botond.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Sorry. Just a minute.
Okay.
It's okay right now?
Yes. Oh, it's perfect. All right. So here's my guy. Nick Easton. He's an offensive lineman. He was a starting center for the Saints the last 2 years. He started off his career playing for Kubiak in Denver, I believe. Then he came to the Niners and played for the Niners in 2015 when Tom Sula was the head coach. Went to Minnesota, played for Kubiak again, then went to the Saints, played for Sean Payton. They cut him this offseason because he was due about $6 million. He's in his 20s. He'd be a hell of a starting right guard, backup center. Just saying, the Niners expect their offensive line to be really, really good, but maybe getting a guy who's like proven to be good would be a nice addition. He's out there. You could get him for a couple million. Nick Easton. I'm still worried about this offensive line. I'm not certain that adding a 36-year-old center and a couple of rookies is going to necessarily, fix it. How about a guy who's 28, 29, and who's been a solid starting center worth about $5-6 million the last few years? It fits the system too.
I see your point, but I don't think that center will be a much needed position for this team throughout the season. I don't mind. I don't think that Alex Mack will be injured, and I do think that if they give some reps to Dan Brunskill in center, he can be a at least decent center for this team. I'm still thinking of him as one of the most underrated guys on this roster.
I love Daniel Brunskill. In fact, I think we shouldn't just assume that he's not going to be the starting right guard. I know they drafted Aaron Banks. I haven't seen Aaron Banks in pads yet. I haven't seen Trey Lance in pads yet either. But Aaron Banks, who knows? He may not be as good as Daniel Brunskill this year. It could be Brunskill starting at right guard, Alex Mack starting at center, and no real good backup center for the second year in a row. And now you're one injury away to a 36-year-old center away from being just where you were last year. So if it's not Nick Easton, I wouldn't be against the Niners bringing in just another backup center for insurance, because I think they're thinner on that line than they want to believe.
Another interesting name to the offensive line, Russell Okung.
Russell Okung, yeah, absolutely. A tackle that's a good point. Now that they're down a tackle.
Yeah.
Now, I doubt he would sign on to a place to be a swing tackle backup, but I don't know what his mindset is right now. Perhaps they definitely need another backup, because their backup tackle right now, who is it? Is it Brunskill? I mean, their backup tackle right now is their starting right guard. They're in a tough
I do
spot.
think that it's Brunskill who is right now, or backup tackle,
John
backup
Coleman
guard, and backup center.
Yeah, so I mean, I think this offensive line is a little thin.
Yeah, there are holes.
You got guys like Jalen Moore and Colton McKivitz, but I don't know. It might bring in a vet for camp at least.
Yeah,
I mean, Tom Compton doesn't count.
We are always talking about the cornerback position as our thinnest, but if we are thinking about it, our offensive line has as much holes as our cornerback position does have right now. So
yeah, and I'm focused on center. You just pointed out offensive tackle. I mean, geez, they don't have a swing tackle. So yeah, again, Brunskill could be the starting right guard, and if so, they have a million backup guards, no real backup center, and no real backup tackle. They have a lot of guards on this team, though, so they should look into that.